Hello everyone, your residential Swiss dinosaur here, and I welcome you to my first impression of the Astron Rex 105. The new Tier 8 premium medium tank for the American territory with a 5-shot autoloader 1600 burst in 16 seconds. Because yes, that thing has 4-second interclip time. And that makes the Astron Rex very interesting, but also weird. But for the people which do not want to watch through the whole first impression, because first we are going to go over the stats of the tank before I then also show you a gameplay, so you can see how it performs in game. I do want to point out, this tank is not going to be OP. It is fairly balanced in my opinion, but the big problem is, or the big two problem is, first, why would you buy this thing over any other tier 8 premium tank for the American territory? Because let's be honest, we got this, we got this, we got this, we got this, we got not this, and we got this. And the thing about the Astron Rex is that it doesn't have a 4th crew member, which would make it a good crew trainer for the American territory, you know? Because, yeah, our almighty M48 Patton has 4 crew members, while the Astron Rex only has 3. So that is a little bit of an issue. Second, it is another autoloader. In and itself, it's a very balanced vehicle. Again, it has decent DPM. It doesn't have the best burst, because obviously you need 16 seconds to get the 1600 damage out. You have a fairly inaccurate gun, and you're not that fast, but you have actually quite decent armor. But then again, we just have to ask ourselves, in a normal World of Tanks game, you're most likely going to face something like a Borask, something like a Skoda T56, something like a Lorraine, most likely a lot of Pro Shadows. Adding now another premium tank which has an autoloader, you know, autoloaders usually accelerate the game, because they can really quickly turn the tides by deleting one enemy. So that is just, you know, it really is just the fact that we get another autoloader. Now, about the gun. The gun in and itself is okay. It lacks accuracy, 0.38 or 0.43 base with such a setup. It lacks penetration, 190 only. And the premium rounds have 250, but they have another issue, which is called pricing. Yes, they have the same price as the Skoda T56, which has the same same penetration, and 460 alpha. So now you will start to notice that the Astron Rex will not make that much money if you have to shoot gold only. The problem is also that the tank only has 30 rounds, and with actually a pretty decent DPM, you start to sometimes run low on ammunition. So such a loadout, 15 and 15, is okay for tier 8 games, but for tier 9 and tier 10s, you most likely have to switch to either 10, 20, or maybe 30 all the way on the APCR rounds, and then you will really limit your earnings. Quickly about the field modifications, I went for this, so we are a little bit faster. I will go for this because the whole circle makes everything smaller, and will most likely go for a little bit more top speed, because the concealment is okayish, and I will most likely go here for the survivability slot, because maybe I can use it for, you know, most likely just going to use it for the vents. And I could in theory then change it if I want to play tier 8 strongholds for the HP booster. It's because in more competitive environment, HP boost is a little bit more important than anything else. Yeah, the gun, again, could be better, could be worse. Penetration on the standard rounds kind of sucks. The accuracy is meh, and the gun handling is atrocious. But DPM wise, other than that, is very decent, and you have a menacingly good burst. Mobility is the big issue. You have a very bad engine. As you can see, 500 horsepower with the turbocharger. We got 16 HP per ton ratio, and 57 kph top speed, which we can push up to 60, and 33 in reverse. The HP per ton ratio is just so bad that you rarely even get to those 57 kph. And reverse speed also takes quite some time to get into that. But you have an absurd traverse speed. It actually makes it kind of annoying to really, how should I say, control your vehicle, which is kind of annoying. Fuel range is not that good. I think it's 390 base, yes, but because you don't have a, what's it called? You don't have a radio operator, like for example, I think the Patton has. No, the loader is the radio operator. You kind of have the issue that you don't have your spots, your second spotting skill, so you're not receiving the 445 meters of fuel range. And the camouflage is, it can get better because I'm not fully upgraded the camouflage yet, but when we, for example, compare it to the Lorraine, which is quite a bit bigger than the Astron, right? It generally is a lot bigger. You can see with a full camo crew, we get 29%, and with an almost full camo crew, 29.3 or 4. So we'll most likely be around 31-ish camo, which is pretty decent, but it's nothing groundbreaking like the Borask, which goes all the way up to 41. So keep that in mind when you're playing the Astron, that you have pretty decent camo, but it's nothing groundbreaking. And lastly, I would like to go into the armor model. As you can see here, before we do that, accuracy on the move, it's bad. It's generally bad. But yeah, let's see the armor model first, and you can see this tank is very small. That means that all the modules are bunched up. You will generally get a lot of module damage in this vehicle, which is kind of annoying. Second off, 85mm of upper front plate, 130 lower plate, which is actually fairly good. A decent turret with a huge cupola, which has 120mm of armor, and something other very interesting, 70mm of side armor. You can trick people into shooting into your side and they will bounce off. On a flat surface, against standard rounds with 190mm of penetration, the lower plate is actually kind of tough to penetrate, but the upper plate is very easy, and the cupola is obviously very easy. With 250mm of APCR penetration, you can see that the hull is not an issue to penetrate, and you can see that even the turret starts to get easy, and you still have the huge cupola. If we go into a scenario like this, which you will most likely see this tank being played, you still have the huge cupola. And the rest actually starts to be really tough, really good armored. As you can see, most of those things are out to bounce angles and not angles of you not having enough armor. However, keep in mind, you can penetrate through the frontal road wheel and detract the enemy while doing also damage, because this stuff is overhanging of the turret ring. And this run right here, with penetration with premium rounds, you can see that still the cupola is your best bet. Everything else is kind of bouncing. And with that, let's jump into the replay. So, this is now the game. We are on Mountain Ass in a tier 8 only gameplay. And before we straight go into the gameplay, you can see this is the loadout we are taking. The turbocharger, vents and a stabilizer with a 1515 loadout and rations. And the first thing you will notice is, yeah, that hull traverse speed. It's very quick. And the second thing you will notice is, even with a turbocharger, our acceleration is poor, to say the least. It's very slow. And that is one of the most annoying things, in my opinion, about the Astron, combined with the rather lackluster accuracy. Those are the two main problems. You can see as soon as we start to turn our hull, the aim circle is going wherever the fuck it pleases at this point. And you can also see that if we are now crossing, we also get spotted by the T-92 because we don't really have that good camouflage, even though we are fairly small, thanks to our huge cupola, most likely. So, I'm going to quickly speed up because we are trying to go over there, but nothing really happens. You don't even get any opportunity to shoot over there. So now we have an opportunity, however, to shoot onto the M41D. He shows us, we get a shot off. Again, 320 alpha is pretty decent, but the 4-second interclip can be a problem. And now, because we don't really get any good flanking ability on this map, we kind of just have to reload. I am also even a little bit AFK, so I'm quickly going to speed this up. 30.5 seconds reload time with the setup I have is pretty decent. But again, because we only have 190mm of base penetration at the moment, I'm not really tryharding because I want to make credits. You can see that we cannot really penetrate the superstructure of the Ferdinand. With a Progetto, that would be no issue. It has 212mm of base penetration. But 190... yeah. That's a general issue, and that really limits the credit earning potential of this vehicle, because obviously if you're not penning well or not penning much, you just am a sitting duck a little bit. Again, just look at the mobility. We are, at the moment, we are roughly as fast as a Super Pershing. Yes, I am wiggling a little bit left and right because I'm stupid, but I'm really stupid. I didn't even see him back there. You can see that our acceleration is super poor. And even on a straight field, 45 kph top speed, even though we should have 57 because of the really bad HP per turn ratio. However, now we are at 320 damage, which is super bad. So let's see what we can do with that, because now we have Centurion 1, which is getting surprise pass. We get a nice shot into his front back road wheel, and now we just decide to clip him and don't know how to drive apparently. But we get him. Oh, now we are at 1200 damage, and we have still 2 shots left, which are more than nice to use on the Fiesling, the T92 over there. And yeah, we have 640 burst right now. 1 shot he does, and we immediately get a damaged turret ring. We did some ramming, but that was about it. Now we have to hope for the even to finish him off. He missed, by the way. Once he hit me, and the other one he missed. And now we are lucky that the Su-130 PM decides to not push us, which I gladly take, as you can see. We are now waiting for our reload to get in, and we are now at 2000 damage, which is really good in my opinion. And can we get 1 more shot off? Obviously we can, and we can even give him a nice little push up the rock. And I fat finger for forgetting that I could use the standard rounds, the auto aim. And now I want to drop myself here. I have to be careful to not overdo it and kill myself. Got really close there. And yeah, we are reloading a premium magazine. I just wanted to be sure that if they are showing me their fronts, that I will be able to penetrate, because I still want to get the most out of it. And again, this is soft terrain, and you can see how slow we are. It's really frustrating. However, I am going to speed it up a little bit until we are back up there, because we're just driving around. I proved my point already that this tank is slow. We did some damage. Predator shooting HG. Me no care. Let's go for the damage, because we have to bank ourselves on good DPG values. And with that we have 3600 damage and 256 spot in a 5:15 game. Cheers to skill for LTU in almost 5 minutes. Because yes, that is basically what happened. Literally. Top of the damage, 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Just so you know, because I didn't show you that in the garage, I did play 7 games with this tank. I have now 2800 DPG. I've played, I think, 1 game in tier 10, 1 in tier 9, and the rest was tier 8s. And we've won, I think, 5 games out of the 6 games. So we got a little bit lucky, but we were also able to carry our weight. Because yes, we have 2700 DPG if I am not mistaken, which I'm taking in those 7 games. But again, this is a first impression. And again, there is nothing wrong with the Astron Rex. It is a fairly nicely balanced premium tank. I enjoy playing it. The gun handling is a bit off, it's a little bit annoying, so you have to keep that in mind, that this might be a little bit of an issue for you, or that you will most likely be a little bit frustrated by it. But other than that, it's totally a-okay. You just have to ask yourself, first things first, do you really want to spend money on this tank? Because I highly doubt you will get it for free, even though apparently you can get those loot boxes if you're getting lucky, and apparently you have a chance of getting it through there. But there are also other tanks in there, which chances are very low that you get. I don't know. It's a loot box event again, which is kind of annoying. Thanks to war gambling in that regard. But yeah, balancing wise, the Astron Rex is totally a-okay. Just the 3 major points: premium rounds way too expensive, and the standard rounds pen kind of sucks. It's not a good crew trainer, and it kind of doesn't really help the game health. When you already have the Skoda T56, the Burrasque, the Lorraine, and the Progetto, especially the Progetto and the Burrasque, which are being played lots and lots with very good burst, very good DPM, and so on and so forth. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this tank. Don't forget to write E in the comment section if you watched the video till the end. Thank you, Cheers, don't forget to subscribe for more World of Tanks content and War Thunder content, and I see you around. Bye bye!